All right, so this is the next video. We'll probably push it into May at this point. Back on it, right where we left off. I had a work trip that kind of like, you know, did some things, but we've all got to work, so now time to get back on it. You can see we got a few things done on this list. Most importantly, what I'm so proud of is this guy right here. Here's all our wiring, here's our loom. Here's everything where I left off in that last video telling you guys about soldering and a nightmare, and I didn't want to bore you to death, but do you remember that one taillight section? Look at how much better that is now. Look at that. This is my whole loom for the back of my truck. This is everything. This is my air management. I fixed this whole boogery thing that I had going on in here. It looks like my tape's coming apart, but it is what it is. We don't know if this is gonna stay right now. And if you smash that like and subscribes buttons and all that good stuff that YouTubers do, you might, you know, stick around long enough to see what ends up happening with this, because I think I've got a plan. I think I've got a new plan for my air stuff. But first it involves putting some 90s on those, getting those swapped out to 90s, tucking these airlines in a little bit better. And that leaves us down to just this guy and this power wire. So let's go ahead and get this guy mounted right now, secure that. We've got to move this battery tray. Like I said, we're gonna put 90s on these. We're gonna do some swivel 90s to get rid of this hard. This is supposed to be the bracket that the bracket locks into to keep this thing from being floppy. So we're gonna cut this off and use this the right way. Get a turn down mounted on that. That's for sure. Hopefully in the end of this video, this stuff will get done. All this will get done to where all we have left is this brake line situation to handle, which is gonna get handled when we do the rear disc brake conversion on this. So by the end of this video, hopefully all this is handled. So let's talk more work. Let's get to it. All right, I wanted to take a second to show you guys a couple of different looms that I'm working with here. This is what most people are used to. Solid, one piece, big loom. You fit a lot of wire in here, stretches tight, right? Zip tie it, electrical tape it at the end, your preference. But let me show you something that my buddy turned me on to, the split wire loom, right? And I know a lot of us are familiar with this, with that black plastic crinkly crap you buy at like AutoZone or Harbor Freight. But this is the weave stuff that gets really tight. You can get this in different colors and it's split. So if you have wires that are already run, kind of like the situation I have, there's no need to start from the beginning, measure it, and get it all from the end when you're building a perfect loom. When you already have existing wiring, this stuff splits just like the cheap plastic stuff, but gives you that clean, nice, finished, you know, well, look when you're done, kind of like what I have here. So I just wanted to share that with you. As always, you know, how us YouTubers do it, right? The link is in the description if you guys want to grab some of this for yourself. Like I said, they make it in different colors. You can get a lot cooler crap than this, but once again, I'm not building a show truck. I think there's few people on the planet that could argue that this doesn't look better than this. Hopefully they'll last a long time. This stuff, as you can see, we're going to address on its own. We still have wiring to deal with. Power distribution block to straighten all this up. So our stuff is long. You can see I've even got trickle charger stuff going on here. This is for our air. We've got some headlights. I've got, yeah, I know I said headlights. I've got stereo. See how this is off the front? It's all temporary. There's no sense in having all these different things. So we're gonna figure out some power distribution. But first, we're gonna get this box moved. That way we know. Right now, let me go back to what I originally said. This brake line's getting redone, so she's just kind of hanging out. Scratch this. This sucks. Take two. All right, let me show you guys where we're at. Air system harness. Fuel lines. Done. Brake line's going to get redone, so ignore that. But you can see we've got everything all the way back. Here's our tail light. Here's our fuel pump. Here's our fuel sending unit. There's our tail light over there. All the way to ending in our pigtail right here for our air management. It really cleans it up, right? A lot. It's always good stuff when you hook it back up and everything works, right?
Haven't done this yet. This will be another system. Think that exhaust is loud? You should smell it.
Woo! You passed out, and you won't have to worry about watching the rest of this video yet. All right, whether you're a new or returning viewer to the channel, let's get you a little look at the airbag setup. So here's what I came up with. This is my bag on bar, not atypical of what a lot of people do. Loosen the bottom one, pull the top 2 bolts, and here's your bag. These are Airlift 2600 bags. And these have been in there for a year since I body dropped the truck. So, don't really see anything wrong with them. The only thing I'm really gonna do is swap this fitting out from a straight to a 90 swivel. It's pretty okay. We're just gonna get some sealant on it. You could use this stuff. You could use this stuff. Or you could use this stuff. Just make sure you use something. I'm not an expert. My shit doesn't leak, so I've done both of these and it all works, even the cheap Harbor Freight stuff. Probably better to use this Loctite stuff though. I always like to test my fittings for leaks by pumping a little air in them, hitting them with some soapy water, let them sit for a bit. When I mounted this battery tray, I used this little lips right here and welded it right on top of the 2x3 because I thought that would be brilliant to hold it while I clamped it and welded it. But it turns out if you really want to use the hold down the way it was intended to keep your battery in there, then it's too low. In the spirit of doing things right and correcting your mistakes, I think I'm going to cut it off and move it up a ½ inch so that these tabs can be utilized correctly. And we can put it on. I know a lot of you are noticing GSI battery mount, you're balling. Follow the link in my description. I got it off Amazon for 50 bucks. That's right. You can buy GSI battery trays for $50 on Amazon. Check it out. Now what makes this job really fun is the fact that these are all fuel lines right here. So in typical bin fashion, I always tend to do things that make the job harder for me later on. All right, so she popped out of there. She popped off of there. We'll clean this up. Get this squared away. Get this squared away. Straighten this back out. Reposition it and use it the correct way. I know it looks like a mess now. We'll make it better than this. Trust me. Maybe we'll actually put some paint on it this time. Sure, I'm not alone when it comes to using these benchmark abrasives, flat discs. They didn't send this stuff to me. I bought it just like everybody else. I had a good recommendation from Brandon Lish and a few other people. Brandon that built my splash guards. You guys know I'm always talking about the good work he does. Reach out to him if you need anything for your truck. But he suggested I use a special code and an offer and get these guys sent to me and try them out, and he was not wrong. I'll put the link in the description. That stuff rocks. We're gonna get this cleaned up, put it where she needs to be, which is only about 3/4 of an inch up. I'm sure this is gonna mess up all kinds of stuff on my bed, but has to be done. So here we are. Let's get her cleaned up, get some paint on the backside of her, and you can see the issue before was without having that top bracket, the weight of this battery was just bending it down and causing it to arc against the sides of the bed. And that's not good, so let's mount it correctly and not have that issue again. It's a pretty good tray, but I don't think I was using it correctly. All right, so there you have it. Now obviously that bracket needs painted too or it's gonna rust out. But you can see I had to cut that off and move it up a ½ inch, and hopefully it doesn't affect my bed and the bracing and where everything is already sitting. It probably will. But such is life. We'll deal with that later. All right, so it's not much. Like I said, it only needed to raise about a ½ an inch for that bracket to be correct, but sometimes that's what it is. If you don't do things right the first time, you're gonna find yourself cutting them apart next to dangerous fuel lines and doing it again. So take your time, learn from me, do them right. All right, so the battery's back in place. I've got the cover on. I should let the paint dry a little bit, but I got some fingerprints there. What are you gonna do? This may be it in the end of the video, and you guys are watching this, and all this wiring still needs to be dealt with. We need some kind of fuse protection, power distribution block situation to kind of handle all of our stuff right here and make this a little bit better. And it's simply just that. It's just got a nice cover on top of it. You can run your power in. You can split it to your different accessories here. Comes with your fuses. This particular kit comes with 60s, 80s, and 100s. And that's pretty cool. They even include the fuses. It was under 20 bucks. I know there's some other options and some better things out there. There's a lot of stereo companies making cool stuff. But I've never really gone down this road before. So I just kind of wanted to try something simple. Got it ground on this side, power fused on this side. Power in, power out, all that good stuff. So now the question is, where do we put it? Because, you know, you can put it somewhere like this, but it still makes it difficult to get to on the road. And you want to keep it relatively close to your battery because this stuff's fused, and that makes sense, right? So now I've got to find a place that's accessible. Remember, there's a bed here. Remember, there's a gas door here. And maybe now you guys are starting to pick up on my plan. So we're gonna end the video right here with this one because I need to do some measuring and I need to do some figuring some stuff out. But this is what I plan to use to get the job done. So until next time, you know, I really like the way this looks. It makes me happy. All we got left to do, like I said, is the brake lines after this. Progress. Eat that elephant, one bite at a time. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on this, so I'm gonna put it out there in a poll, you know, like what should we do next? Should we tackle this air system? Or should we do this rear disc brake conversion? What do you guys wanna see?